Why, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there YouTube land doing? I hope everybody's set fine and dandy. Guys, today we're going to be building ourselves a crystal radio. That's right, a crystal radio. And you don't need any type of batteries. And basically, the only thing you really need is a long piece of wire, a ground, and a good detector. So, if this is your first time hearing about a crystal set, this was developed way back in the day. And I'll read you a little bit of the introduction in my little crystal radio book. It says the crystal set came into existence because of the invention of just one component, the detector. Everything else was easily adapted from the parts of existing circuitry. It was the development of this one key item that made the crystal set reality. Therefore, the history of the crystal detector itself is important in order to cover crystal set development. So, pretty neat. So, I went down to our local Lowe's. I was going to get some of those little clips, because it's basically only thing I don't really have for the wires, to clip the wires on. But I'm going to make me a little something here. I'm trying to make my own little clips, so we'll figure something out, even if I have to use nails. But I was just trying to get something here made up so it'll be easy for you guys too. So we're going to let me get things cleared off this, and I'm going to show you pretty much what you'll need to build this. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to be making, first thing we need is a nice little board, and we need it probably about 6 inches by 6 inches. So you need to cut you out a nice little board here. I say about a 6 inch square will probably do it. So I'm going to get my measurements here. I don't know how straight this is. For my last cut, this should be pretty straight. I think I used a square. So I need to get a piece of wood and something straight. I need a straight edge. And I just need to connect my measurements here. 6 inch here, 2. I'll make it easy on myself. Make 2 different ones. Put my straight edge here. See which one would be the straightest, I wonder. You don't gotta be perfect, but your crystal set does want to be happy and pretty. It works better that way. So there we go. We're going to put it like that. So see, I've got a 6 inch square here, and I'm going to cut it out. We're going to try to use all these with hand tools. I'm going to try and do all this with hand tools. I got this nice little saw here. Pretty nice little one. It's good and sharp. It's real good and sharp. Good hand saw. So we're just going to cut it. We're going to take our time. And that's the one thing about doing it. When you build it, just make sure you're enjoying yourself. That kind of looks like it's a little off, but I think it'll be alright. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just take our time and cut it. Am I going off? I think I was going off a little bit, guys. Going as straight as possible. Let the saw do the work. Y'all are probably thinking, we're starting with this piece of wood and you're telling me we're going to listen to the radio out of this piece of wood? Yes, we are. Saw keeps on wanting to go left or right. Okay, we're back on track. Now for this longer cut. Not longer, but kind of hard with it, kind of up against here, but I think we can get it. I don't know why my saw's wanting to hit over to the left or to the right. Let me get my other saw. This is more of a square saw here anyway. Should have been using this saw the whole entire time. It's moving on me. I'm going to cut because it's hitting this top part. I have to finish it off with the hands off. Should be there. Alright, I think one more little cut over here will have it. There we go. We got a little 6-inch block here. So now what I want to do, guys, I want to, like I said, the crystal radio, it likes to be pretty and looking pretty sniffy. And so I'm going to measure, and I'm going to cut all around the edges, and then we're going to file. Kind of give it a bevel to it. I got to turn the fan on. It's already getting, it's really muggy here in Kentucky today. Alright guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure about, a ½ inch. Well, not quite ½ inch. Let's see. I want to take off. Maybe about 7/16 of an inch. All around, all the side. I'm going to measure that. I'm going to come back up here to the top. Do the same thing. Here. Then I need my scrap piece of wood. Make my line there. And then I'm going to go here on the side. Make another mark. This is just for cosmetic look, this part is. We're going to go right there. Get me a good measurement, and I want to take my saw and I want to saw this and I want to saw this. That way And I'm going to do all 4 sides. And once I get that done, I'll show you what it's going to look like. It's going to give us like a beveled edge. It's going to kind of make this set up. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let me get this all measured out and cut, guys. I'm going to cut this out and all this. All 4 sides. Alright guys, we're going to do the finishing cuts. Got the box. I wish my box would turn, but I think I can get it. But it's got to stay on the lines. Stay on the line. And this is going to make a nice little bevel. I don't have a router. Should be there. Let's see. Should be there. There it is. Got to kind of clean it up a little bit here. There's a little place right there I need to get out of there. There she goes. Let's see what it's going to do. It's going to put us a nice little bevel on that. I'll turn it around. Show you. But see how we get all 4 sides done, and we'll have a nice little edge on it, and it'll look good when it's sitting on your table. So I'm gonna get the other 3 cut, and once I get that done, we'll sand her down. Alright guys, I got the edges done. As you can see, looks pretty good. Looks better than just a plain piece of wood. My knots fell out, but I think it'll be alright. So now what we want to do, we want to give this a good sanding. We'll get all of our rough cut all sanded, smooth and everything. And I'm going to be using 60 grit and 220. I'm going to start with the 60 grit. Now I forget what this one is. Might be 222. No, it just says medium. Alright. I'm just going to use my little block here. We're going to start sanding. Get our pencil marks off. Come in here and get our cuts nice and smoothed out. to this medium. It's humid out, guys. I'm sweating. I got fans on. And now we're going to take it down even smoother here with the medium sandpaper. Make me sweat. I don't know if I'm going to make these round or not. I don't think I'm going to. Get that pretty well sanded. Now we'll go to the 220. Finish it up. Just 220. And smooth it up. Oh yeah, that's good, smooth. We're going to do our edges. With the 220. Now we're getting something to work with. So now guys, we got the sanding done. And the next thing, if you want to, you don't have to, but you can put a little stain on it. So let me get the stain over here, and we'll put a nice coat of stain on it. And we'll wipe all the piece of wood down with the clean paper towel. Alright guys, this clean paper towel, I want to use it to dip down into my stain. There'll be quite a bit on there. We're just going to give it a good coat. Get down all the cracks. A little bit more on there. That should do it. All down in them cracks. We got a pretty nice piece of wood to start with here. And we'll just let that dry, guys. We'll let that dry. Did I miss a little? I think I did. I missed a little bit right here. I go around it, make sure you don't miss anything, and I think we're good. And that is the beginning of our crystal radio. Alrighty, guys. I've got it down to this. Now we're going to talk about the coil for a minute. I've already have one pre-made that I'm going to use, and I've got, I think, 120 turns on this. You'll need some magnet wire, guys, like this. It's got to have insulation on it, or it won't work, because if the wire touches each other, it'll short out. So it's got to be magnet wire, and you may have to order it online. It's kind of hard to find, but some good magnet wire. And like I said, you want to get you a cylinder. Let me see if I can find something. We'll pretend to use this Brasco thing. You want to kind of pull you off about 2.5, 3 inches on this side before you start. And you want to take your magnet wire. Let me see if I gotta get this started here. Take your magnet wire. Kind of give yourself some room. And then you want to go around and butt it up like that. And I would put a little hot glue. I would start right here and put a little hot glue so it'll hold it for you. And then you want to go around each time, and you want to make sure it touches the other one. And about 90 turns should get your local station, and I've got 120, and I sometimes get 2 or 3, 4 stations with 120 turns. So when it's all finished, said and done, it'll look like that. Mine needs pushed over and tightened up a little bit. It'll look like that when you're finished, and that's your coil, and that's a must. You got to have this. And also, guys, another very important thing you're going to need is this. This is a AA112 germanium diode. There's different ones, and I can't remember all the numbers, but this is the one we're going to use. But that's a must-have also, guys. This is what brings the signal in, and what a diode does, it makes the current, instead of going both ways, it'll make the current go one way. It's the actual, this is the detector, and this is one of the most important things for your crystal set. Now we're going to make the easiest version we possibly can. We're not going to put no tuning capacitor. I'm not even going to put any type of resistor, any type of capacitor on this. But what I'm going to try to do on this radio, guys, that I haven't done with my other ones, is I'm trying to find a way to be able to tune it a little easier. On my first one I made, I used a wire. Let me get that for you. Alright, guys, this is the first crystal set I made, and to tune it, which I'm missing a bolt here, but to tune it I was using this old bicycle spoke, and I would run it across like that and get my station in. But on the one that I'm making right now, I'm going to use this. Now, I took a piece of metal. It looks kind of rough. I really need to get that tightened a little bit, but I've already got some solder here. It's kind of smashed, but I'm going to put a wire here, a pretty stiff wire, and I got these blocks, and I'm going to glue these in like that. I'm going to paint them first. I'm going to paint them black, then we're going to wood glue them on here, and then this will go here like that. I'll get that mounted on, and then my coil, once I get it mounted, get them mounts in, it's going to be like, well, let me see if I can get it. It's going to be on top. I may have to make that a little higher. I had this measured out a minute ago and it worked. I don't know what's going on. But I'll have a piece of wire where I can go back and forth, and that way I can switch stations. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I'm going to try to get this all buttoned up and get this working correctly, and then we'll go to the next step on how to wire it all up. Alright guys, I'm going to drill the 2 holes so we can set our coil down in this. So 2 holes drilled here. Give me a piece of scrap so we don't go too deep. And I've already got it measured here. So we're going to drill. There's the first one. Get the second one. Let's see if our coil fit in here now. I have to make the hole. There we go. We got our coil mounted on our piece of wood. Now, I got to figure out how I'm going to get, I call it a bridge, but this little slider thing, maybe I'm going to have to make it taller. Maybe I'll put it like that. Is it taller? No, it's going to be a little bit more taller. I need this to hang down like that. So I need something a little bit bigger than these. What if I put it up like that? That'll work. Yeah, that should work. So I'll mount it like that. I'll get these little pieces of wood painted. This one looks like it needs to be filed down a little bit. So I'm going to mount these just like that, and that way I'll put a piece of wire on the other side, and hopefully I can slide this across. This is an old piece of metal I'm using, and somebody had broke at one time, a long time ago. Someone brazed it back, so it's got a lump. So I may have to take a grinder and grind it down. It's not super smooth, but I think it'll be alright. It is just a crystal set, and I think it'll work. It don't gotta be perfect. It's gotta be good enough to, to work. I think it'll be alright. and I'll solder me a wire in there. And then what we got to do, we got to take a piece of sandpaper and go across the top of this. And you got to be careful and not let them touch, but you just need to take a piece of sandpaper and sand this off. That way when that wire that I'm going to mount here, when it goes across, it can connect to each wire. So let me get these little pieces of wood painted and get these mounted, and I'll be back, guys. And then I'll go ahead and get the screws, get this screwed in, get the wire. Once I get all this back, once I get this ready to mount and stuff, I'll show you what kind of wire and stuff I'm going to put on here and here, and we'll get that sanded off. So let me get this little bit of work done, and I'll be back. Alrighty, guys, we're going to paint these little blocks black before we put them on our board. It is starting to rain again here in good old Kentucky. We'll give these a little paint job, make them look better. Have it all over me. Set that down. Oh, there it went. Let that dry, and I'll get the other part after it dries. Just making the radio look pretty. That's a big thunder. This paint dries really quick, so get it off my hands. Alright, we'll let that dry, and we'll touch up any spot that I missed there. I'll be back. Alright, guys. I took and soldered a pretty good sized wire on here, which we're going to use that here in a minute. So that's going to go on here. I've got to get this, once we get everything mounted, we'll get that bent down to where I need it to touch here. What I probably really need to do is take it, kind of shape it shape it like that. That way when it's set here, we go across like that. And we should be able to pick good stuff. Now the only thing I'm concerned about is when I touch this, if I'm going to cause interference. And that could happen. I really wish I had that bent in a little bit better. I was talking when I was doing this. That's about, I'm definitely going to have to grind that a little bit because it is not smooth. But I think that'll work. Get on here, mount it on these little wooden pieces, and do some adjustments. And I think that's going to work pretty good, guys. I've got to put me a wire now coming off of this, because we got to run that down to the detector. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I got to find me a small little wire, and about 6 inch, well, long enough to reach up front here to hook into the radio. But it looks pretty, it's pretty cool. Just had something laying around the house, you know what I mean? And that's all what crystal set building is all about. Just what you have laying around. I'll be back. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get a wire here and solder us a wire into this. And that black paint has made a mess. It's all over our pretty woodwork. Alright, we can fix that later. Alrighty, I'll be back once I get that wire hooked in, guys. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. What we're going to do next is we got to get everything mounted so we can move on. Because this part took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take. So I got the wire. I got us a wire here, and that's going to hook into the circuit once we get everything going. And then I've got this bent here. Now on I know for sure on this wire here, this magnet wire, guys, any place you're going to make a connection, you've got to take a knife or something and peel off that coating. If you don't do that, it won't work. So now this piece of copper here, I believe it was fine. That's actually a piece of wire from a piece of cable. So what I need to do now, guys, I need to get this mounted. We got to see where we're going to, we got to sand that still. So actually I'm going to have to sand it before I put the screws in, because I won't be able to get to it. So we're just going to set it up here like where we would mount it to, and make us some marks here. Let's see, get everything eyeballed. Let's see, how's that going to, so it's going to be that right there. I don't really have anything to mark that with. I don't know where my marker went. I don't know where my marker went, guys. I think my pencil will mark it. I'll try to use my pencil. If I can find my pencil. Maybe this green marker will work. This highlighter. I've got to sand it. So I think that thing's dried up. Let me find one that'll work. I think this one will work. Just need a mark here so we know where to put to sand it. Let's see. Alright. I think I've got us a place. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to get a piece of sandpaper. And we've got to sand across here. I got to be very careful and not sand it where the wires will touch. So, just got to easily do it here. And it's easier said than done. Yeah, you don't want them to touch because it'll short out. We'll make it enough for that piece of wire to go down through there and touch and make connection. It should do. Kind of like that. That way when that piece of metal rubs across it, it's going to hit each station. Now let me set this back up here. Set that away for now. I don't need that. It's in my way. Put it back up here. See if it's going to hit. Yes. I think it's going to work out great. I think it's going to work out good right there. So I need to get that mounted. So I need something to make a mark. So we put our screw in there. I need it right there. And make sure still everything's good here. Which I can adjust that wire. I don't know. I forgot about that. I don't know what I'm worried about. We can adjust it. So right there's our marks. And I'll drill a little pilot hole to get this thing started. Maybe. I'm using a broken bit, but the last small one I had that broke, I gotta get back up and get a new set of drill bits at Harbor Freight. Alright, now we've just got to get a screw, guys. Let me find a couple screws. Alrighty, let's get this put on here. Hope it don't split. It would. There's that one. And then we'll get this one in. On the pallet hole. There it is. I know I drilled that. It's acting like I didn't drill it. I lost that one. Try that again. There's that pilot hole right there. It's awful close. It's awful close to the wood. to the side of the wood. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Hopefully I can. It's a self-tapper, so. Alright. There's the back of it, and it's pretty much right on money back here. You see the wire here and where we sanded it. And then this wire, we'll just drill a hole and we'll bring it up here maybe. Or I'll just run it underneath it. Probably just drill a hole and take this down and under and up here. We'll see when we get to that point. See if we can straighten this out a little bit. It's a little bent. I think that's going to work out great, guys. I think that's going to work out good. Alright, we've got that part done. You gotta push this over because it's as square as I want it, but it'll be alright. I wish this was over a little bit more. I don't know if I can take it out and bend it. I might after a while. After I get the rest of it built, I can go back and fix the things I don't like. Alright, now all we gotta do, guys, is start wiring it up. Now I'm gonna have to, I went to Lowe's to try to find some clips, wire clips. I couldn't find anything. So I'm gonna have to make my own. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make these little loops like that. And where I need to put it, I'm just going to take some drill a little hole and take some super glue and put them in there and let it dry. And that way we'll have a place to hook all our wires to. It'll look kind of like that. So let me get the wire, all these little connectors, and get them ready to go, and we'll start wiring this up, and hopefully here soon we can try to see if it's going to work. I think it's looking pretty good. Just wish that I'd paid attention and bent this over a little bit. I'll probably end up doing that once we get up and playing. Alrighty, I'm gonna get the wire, all the pins made and drilled and put in, and I'll be back and I'll show you how to wire this up. Alright, guys, I got all the little connectors here. Probably have to re-glue that one. Yeah, all of them. All the other ones good and tight. So all we gotta do now is get our wire ready, get everything hooked up. This one is the one hooked to this. So we will take it and put it over here and solder in here. This is going to be our ground. It comes up here, over here. This is going to be our germanium diode here. I'm not going to put any resistor, but if we was putting resistor, we could put like maybe a 1K here. And then this wire here goes here. And then this yellow wire goes here. And that'll be, it's easy. This is going to be an easy one, guys. So, I'm kind of wondering how it's going to do. So, let's get her together. I'll get you up on Sky Vision. We'll get this hooked up. Alright, guys. I've got all the wires stripped. That's what I was talking about a minute ago. You got to make sure you see copper. Get that red stuff off for that insulation. You got to, I don't know if you can see the copper. You got to get all that off. If you don't, it won't work. So that goes there. But I'm going to show you guys something for you. Alright guys, I've got the wires already set for us to put in, and I was going to show you. Make sure, I just lost that one, didn't I? You gotta make sure you get that insulation off. See how shiny that copper shininess is? That's what you want. You want anywhere you're going to make a connection, make sure you clean it or it won't work. You do all this work and then you go to hear it and it won't work. It's going to be a bummer, so make sure you clean it. So also guys, before we hook that up, I'm going to show you all one more important thing. Like I said earlier in the video, a crystal radio does not have to, it don't need batteries or nothing, and but it does need a good ground, which my ground is here. All I gotta do is get some alligator clips, hook onto that, and we'll hook it to the radio. But that is ran outside, and I'll take y'all out and show you before it gets dark. Alright guys, here's my antenna. It comes out of the shed and it goes up all the way over, all the way down here. You see how it's looped here? And then I've got it on like a jumper cable handle, and got it hooked to the gutter. And the gutter, when it hooks in, now it's also an antenna. So I've got a pretty good size antenna, and I'll show you the ground. Alright guys, inside the shed, about right here, is where I was showing you where I hook it in. I've got it ran up in the eave, and it comes down here, right here, comes down, and I have it hooked down in the ground, and it's about 3 foot in the ground, piece of copper. So, and that is the ground to it. And you gotta have that, where it won't work. Alrighty guys, the looks of everything, it looks like it's playing. Let me hook up this little amp. That's all this is. It just amplifies it a little bit so I can hear it better through my headphones. Gives it a little bit more amplification. It don't amplify enough for you guys to hear it, but we may be able to use the tuning capacitor, the signal tracer, and you guys may be able to hear it here in a second. Let me see what's going on, guys. Hook this amplifier up. Kind of looks like I've lost the station. There it came in. Let me see if I get my... guys. Let me see what's going on. It's playing, but not loud. Alright, guys, I'm back. I'm getting something totally different than what's normal here. Let me turn that bright light out. I'm getting more of a CB. I'm getting more. It's weird. It's not the radio. I'm hearing. I don't want to lie. Let me hit me. Hold on, guys. Let me listen to it for a minute. It's very faint. I swear it sounds like CB talk. But I don't think that's any way possible. But I try to use my single tracer, guys, so you guys can hear it. But as good as I could do is on the oscilloscope there. That's weird. Try to get a little bit more in. Huh. Whoa. I don't know what that is. Not bad. I'm getting about 2 stations, and this is first try. First try, and I'm getting about 2 stations, guys. So I'll be tinkering with this later on tonight, and probably putting me a tuning capacitor on it, and seeing what else I can hear. Like I said, I don't think it has CB, because there ain't no way possible you could pick up CB with a excuse me, with a crystal set. But I swear it sounds like them guys out there talking. It's real faint though. It's not coming in super, super loud. I lost it. Here we go. It went out. Alright, guys. I hope you guys... What's this? Some kind of Chinese. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. I hope you guys find this interesting and want to sit down and build yourself one, and you all can hear it nice and clear. I guarantee it. Just remember to have a good ground, good antenna, and make sure you strip your wires back and everything, and you should be good to go. And make sure you use a germanium diode, and you should be good. Alrighty, guys. Until the next one, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.